A noiseless patient spider. A noiseless patient spider I marked where on a little promontory it stood isolated. Marked how to explore the vacant, vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, filament, filament out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, O my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached, in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling, catch somewhere, O my soul. So let's just sit for about 10 minutes. Take a comfortable seat. Soften your shoulders. Straighten the back as best you can. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, then to just close your eyes. And to start, as we always do, just being aware of your breathing. Going from 3 counts in, 4 counts out. And then just deepening it a little bit to 4 counts in and 5 or 6 counts out. Just remember that if your thoughts are racing, even while you're quieting everything else, the fact that you're noticing them is the meditation. You're stepping back and noticing, and it means you're here. Once you find yourself in that space of deepening breath and following the breath, just soften everything else. Your shoulders, soften the belly, for me it's around my jaw. Just let everything unclench. Sometimes it helps to turn your hands over on your lap so they're facing upward. And for the next 2 or 3 minutes, just see if you can notice some space in between those thoughts. The theme for this semester is impeccability, which means without fault. That space between the thoughts is an impeccable place. Here's the poem again. A Noiseless Patient Spider by Walt Whitman. A noiseless, patient spider, I marked where on a little promontory it stood isolated, marked how to explore the vacant, vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, filament, filament out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, O my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling catch somewhere, O my soul. Thinking about this poem in terms of impeccability, I came to it because I cleaned my house up and down about 4 days ago. And there were spider webs in the doorway. There were sticks and branches in the backyard and crickets in the basement. And so I was clearing away spider webs in the doorway, and I noticed that there was something living in there. It was not just detritus from last season. That was somebody's house. And the spider kind of crept away and watched her house disappear before her eyes. And I kind of said, sorry about that, and went on with my work. And I shut the door softly. And the next day, I'd forgotten about this. I went back to that spot, and I saw that the web had been partially made again. And there was the spider, still there. She hadn't packed up and gone somewhere else, but decided to. This was a good enough space, and maybe that was an aberration, and I'm going to try again. But where is the impeccability in that? The impeccability in that is the reminder that, like for Walt Whitman, that we are like that spider in more ways than we're not. When we often, at least I do, identify with the web. I identify with the broken things. I identify with the broken parts. I identify with the impermanence of a web that can be swept away by someone's hand in a moment. But then there is this aliveness inside the web that comes back and just starts over uncomplainingly. And that's Walt's point, that this is the soul, and that for him the soul is that impulse to just continue on. So I kept thinking, wow, I am more like that spider than I think. Here I'm not, but in every other place in my body I am. I'm breathing at night while I'm sleeping. My kidneys are functioning. If my skin is torn, it heals again. Everything just keeps building its web back up again, and it knows that it's not the web. And this poem first came to me when I was 18 or 19 years old. Of course, it meant something different to me then, and I think it's more popularly read as a poem about poetry, that for Walt Whitman, these filaments are thrown out into the world as poems. And certainly his life was one long line of one poem called Leaves of Grass that started in 1855 and completed in 1892 in the year of his death. But it's also a wonderful teaching about who we already are, not what we have to be or try to be, but who we already are. So here it is one more time, and then we'll go back into the meditation. A noiseless, patient spider. A noiseless, patient spider. I marked where on a little promontory it stood isolated, marked how to explore the vacant, vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, filament, filament out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, O my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you will need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling catch somewhere, O my soul. Yeah. So let's go back into the meditation, taking a firm seat, hands over your knees, facing upward if that feels comfortable, eyes closed. Softening the shoulders again. And think about those long breaths. 4 counts in, 6 counts out, as filaments. The millions of filaments of a lifetime. For Walt Whitman, the great self, the great weaver of these filaments, was the universe. So he could look at a spider and see himself in disguise. Or a tree, a live oak, or a soldier in the Civil War. And here's the question for this week, which is, can you see, like he did, with the 2 wings of mindfulness, that everything is a torn web, and everything is also this secret, uncomplaining weaver? So when we talk about the aliveness within things, there is really no aliveness within things. The things themselves have issued from that aliveness. They are part of it, even if there's an impermanent layer. In the last 2 minutes, just scan upward from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, and trace back all those imperfections to a perfect source. Coming up the calves and around your hands on your lap. Up to the shoulders. The back of the neck, into the mind, into the head, that thinks everything is falling apart. And then mysteriously backwards to the source that keeps renewing. What does that look like for you? A noiseless patient spider. A noiseless patient spider. I marked where on a little promontory it stood isolated. Marked how to explore the vacant, vast surrounding. It launched forth filament, filament, filament out of itself, ever unreeling them, ever tirelessly speeding them. And you, O my soul, where you stand, surrounded, detached in measureless oceans of space, ceaselessly musing, venturing, throwing, seeking the spheres to connect them, till the bridge you'll need be formed, till the ductile anchor hold, till the gossamer thread you fling catch somewhere, O my soul. I put a contact form into the chat. If anyone is here for the first time and would like to be on the mailing list permanently, you can just go to that form and it will sign you up as a subscriber. And then I send out an email separately from MailChimp because it seems to arrive in people's mailboxes more effectively that way. But thank you all. I wish you a wonderful weekend, and I'm just so blessed that so many people came here for the first day. And yes, please do share that link with friends. It's my pleasure. Thank you all. It's so great to see your faces. Bye-bye.